Hi, this is Eric, and today I'm going to be showing you a issue that can happen where a EC2 instance is not accessible. So if you're a cloud engineer and you get a request to help solve an issue where a user cannot, RDP into their instance, and it happened instantaneously out of nowhere, and it was working before, and then they say it's not working all of a sudden. One thing you can try is using what's called the EC2 rescue tool. And what this does is it checks settings such as firewall settings, and you could also have it check registry settings, and it can actually not only diagnose but resolve the issue and make the change to the server so that it will fix whatever's preventing the user from RDPing into the instance. So we're going to do that right now. So I have a server here, and it's called server 1, and this is going to be the server that has the problem. We're not going to be able to RDP into this instance. So if I pull up my RDP remote desktop connection, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on connect here so I can get the connection public DNS name so I could use that to connect. So I copied that, paste it, click on connect, and we'll see what happens when we try to connect to it. So you can see it's taking a long time, and finally we receive an error. We're not able to connect using RDP. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to figure out a way to fix this issue. So in order to fix, or at least attempt to fix a problem like this, the best thing to try is the EC2 rescue tool. Okay, so what we need to do is we're going to create a new instance. So I'm going to click on launch instance. We'll call this new instance server 2. So the one that's having the problem is server 1. This one's going to be server 2. It's going to be a Windows Server 2022 operating system. Make sure you give it a key pair so we could decrypt the password. Now, what we want to do is we want to make sure that this new instance is in the same subnet as the instance that's having the problem. So let's just double check. We're going to double check to make sure we launch this new instance in the same subnet. So the subnet for server 1 is this one here. So I'm going to copy that, edit this network settings. So change it from no preference to the subnet that we want to launch the instance in. For this demo, I'm keeping public IP auto assign enabled. Just make sure that when you do this that all your network settings are good. You're able to RDP into this instance. For me, this is already all set. Next, we're going to go ahead and launch this instance. Looks like everything's okay, so we're going to launch it. Give it a few seconds. Okay, so right now our new server, server 2, is in a pending state. We're going to hold on a few moments while this instance state changes to running, and then we'll continue. Okay, so after a few minutes, we now have our server 2 passing there's its status checks, it's running. So now what we need to do is we're going to stop server 1. So this is the instance that we're not able to RDP to. We're going to stop this instance, put it in a stop state. Okay, so successfully stopped. We're going to wait to make sure that the instance changes to stop. So we'll give it a few moments. Okay, so the instance is stopped. Now what we want to do is we're going to click on this server 1 instance, click on the storage tab, and we're going to open this volume ID in a new tab, and we're going to get this volume detached from server 1. So this is the root volume for server 1, and we want to detach it. So the instance is stopped. We're going to click on the volume. We're going to detach volume under actions. Click on detach. Okay, so it successfully detached the volume. The volume state still says in use, so let's refresh. Once the volume state changes to available, we are now good to attach it to our server 2 instance that we're going to use to recover server 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on server 2, and I want to get the instance ID. So I have that copied. Now I go back to my volume. So this is back to the root volume of server 1 that we detached. Click on actions, attach volume, and under instance, I'm going to paste the instance ID, and I'm going to leave the device name as is. That should be fine. Attach volume. Okay, successfully attached volume to the instance. Okay. Now if I click on server 2 and I go to the storage tab, I can see that the volume is now attached. So now I'm going to connect to server 2. So click on connect, RDP client, get password. So we're going to decrypt the password. Okay, I got my password, my public DNS name. I'm going to RDP now. I'm going to put in the DNS name of the new server 2 instance. Okay. Put in the password. Okay, so I'm now signing into server 2, and this has the volume that we detached from server 1. And we're going to make sure that this volume is initialized, and we're able to see it on this instance. So we'll give this a few moments to allow us to log in. Okay. Now I'm going to go to disk management. Okay, I can see there is now a disk 1. We're going to bring it online. It automatically gets a drive letter, so it's going to be the D drive. So we'll close this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up PowerShell, and we're going to download the EC2 rescue tool using PowerShell. Just make sure that network connectivity is all good. Okay, ready to download. So this invoke web request PowerShell command, I'm going to put this in the description of the video along with the documentation where you can find it. But basically, it's going to download the EC2 rescue zip file to your desktop. So you can see it right here. It appeared on my desktop, so I'm going to extract it now. So extract all. Going to click on extract. Okay, now you can see all the files that are associated with the application file. So I'm going to click on that application file, EC2 rescue. Click on I agree for the license. Okay, so we successfully installed the EC2 rescue tool. Now we're going to follow the prompts. We're going to click next. So you have the choice of doing this on the current instance, but since we're doing it on a separate instance where we detached the volume and attached it back on this instance, we're going to click on offline instance. Okay, so it automatically tells you which partition it is, but just make sure, and confirm that we're on the right partition. So this looks to be correct. Click on next. Are you sure this is the right volume? Click on yes. Volume successfully loaded. Okay, so now there's several options we have. What we want to do is diagnose and rescue. You could also have the option to restore the volume, set Windows to boot into last known good configuration, mode, or restore registry from registry backup. This is, this might be something you want to do if you tried to diagnose and rescue the volume and it didn't work. You could try restoring it. You could also capture logs. We're going to click on diagnose and rescue. So it brings us to this summary screen. So it's saying that EC2 Rescue has checked the following items. And you can see with this icon here, the triangle with the exclamation point, that somebody, or it's indicating that someone may have blocked incoming connections on Windows Firewall. So this indicates that it found the issue. So the EC2 Rescue tool has found some problems that may be preventing us from RDPing into the instance. So we're going to click on next. Now what we're going to do is all these 3 issues here that the rescue tool found, we're going to want to reverse them and fix them. So we're going to select all. So this is going to fix our firewall issue on the domain network, private network, guest network. We're going to use this tool to fix that. Click on next. And finally, click on rescue to confirm. Do you want to proceed? Okay. And just like that, you could see that the icons changed into this check mark. So it changed from enabled to disabled. Windows Firewall has been disabled, so that's what we want. Click on next and click on finish. Okay, so if we go back to disk management, you could see that the rescue tool has uh, brought the disk offline for us, which is good. That's what we want, so we could detach it from this instance. So I'm going to sign out of here. Sign out of our rescue instance. Okay, so on our rescue instance, click on storage. We want to get this volume back on server 1. So let's go ahead and do that. So click on the volume, click on actions, and we're going to detach volume. Okay, let's give it a couple seconds. I'm going to refresh. Okay, the volume state changed to available. So we're going to grab our instance ID of server 1, copy that, and now we're going to click on actions, click on the volume, and then click on actions, attach volume, instance. We're going to put the instance ID of server 1, and very important, make sure that we change the device name. So in this particular case, the root volume should always be dev SDA1. So that's very important. Make sure you put the right device name for the root volume of the Windows instance. Click on attach volume. Okay, so now we can see that the volume's in use. And what we're going to do next is restart server 1. So right now it's in a stop state, and we're going to start the instance. And we'll give it a few moments for the instance to be in a running state. Okay, after refreshing the screen, I could see that server 1 is now running and passing its status checks. So we're going to connect to this instance. RDP client, copy the DNS, and get the password. Okay. Back to our remote desktop connection client. Okay, and now you're starting to see that we are now able to connect to server 1. So previously, when we tried to connect, there was a problem. We ran the EC2 rescue tool, used that to fix some firewall settings on this server, and we are able to RDP into this instance now. So everything's looking great. Something, not so hard to fix. So could be a major problem that's, something that we could easily fix with the EC2 rescue tool. And then everybody's going to be happy. Any users that couldn't connect can now connect. And that is all for this video. Thank you for watching.